Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy JT, opposite from the norm. Before I get started, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Definitely make sure you hit them thumbs up. So I'm going to talk about two things, and one of them is going to be this. Like I said on the previous show, you know, we got to start thinking about our own PACs, which is a political action committee. You know what I mean? The things that entail that. That's part of group economics. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like Claude Anderson that talk about these things. Now I want to read his book Powernomics, because I don't want to just say he's not talking about starting a political action committee. You know what I'm saying? And not know for sure. But I do want to say that it's important we talk about these things. So it's Wednesday night. So this is PoliTalk. Please excuse me for being late. But let's get started.
Forming a Political Action Committee, an online presentation of the FEC Information Division. If you plan to pool resources with others, you may need to register your group with the FEC as a political committee or PAC. Generally, a group that raises or spends more than $1,000 to influence federal elections needs to register with the FEC as a PAC. As you'll see, there are several different types of PACs. Choosing which one is right for your group depends on several factors. The key question is, what does your group want to do? If you're really just interested in making contributions to federal candidates, you'll want to register as a non-connected PAC. If, on the other hand, you're only interested in supporting state and local candidates, you'll want to contact your state elections office to ask about creating a non-federal PAC. If you'd like to contribute to both state and federal candidates, there are a couple of possibilities. In some states, you may be able to do all of that from your FEC-registered non-connected PAC. In others, you'll need to establish separate federal and non-federal committees. If all your group wants to do is make independent expenditures, you may want to establish an Independent Expenditure Only Committee, or Super PAC. Unlike other FEC-registered committees, Super PACs can accept unlimited contributions, including corporate and union contributions. However, Super PACs cannot make contributions to federal candidates. If you'd like to make contributions and independent expenditures, you've got a couple of options. You could establish a regular non-connected committee and use funds subject to the law's limits and prohibitions to finance your activity, or you could combine the features of a non-connected PAC and a Super PAC and register as a hybrid PAC. A hybrid PAC maintains one bank account that functions as a regular non-connected committee and another that functions as a Super PAC. If you want to do it all, you may be able to do it using either a non-connected PAC or a hybrid PAC, but some states may require that you establish a separate non-federal committee to support state and local candidates in their jurisdiction. You'll find more information regarding non-connected PACs, Super PACs, hybrid PACs, and non-federal PACs on our website. You can also give us a call at 800-424-9530 or email us at info@fec.gov.
All right, y'all. So y'all just seen it. This is the 4 different PACs you can start. This is something our people need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? You got local, so some people may want to start local, within your community, your city, to move into, you know what I'm saying, city, county, and then move into state, and then federal. You know what I'm saying? Just get your wheels greased and learn all of these different steps. And like I said before, I don't know if Dr. Claude Anderson necessarily spoke on this, but this is something we need to start looking at, because you have those type of things. So in the link description, y'all can go ahead and look at in the description. I got one of the clips from a Roland Martin video. I think it's almost 10 minutes long. They talking to a black PAC that does federal, that, with presidency and things of that nature, local and stuff like that. Then a lot of these, you'll be able to look them up. I believe I have hybrid, non-connected, that you can just look specifically at. Then also one of them, you can look at the breakdown of all of them, and they .gov, so you can go look at them. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, the problem I've been having lately is I've been asking this question to people that's been so steamrolled on trying to back Ice Cube and what he's doing and talking to Republicans. All right. The problem I ask these questions and nobody answers it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I asked this question on Black Dot show, Urban X show, and I asked this question to Boyce Watkins. Like, why don't we talk about other independent candidates and parties versus just the left-right paradigm? They never want to answer it. I remember Boyce Watkins a couple weeks ago was doing a live on Instagram, and he was, you know what I'm saying, he was just supposed to answer questions. And I noticed that every time I put that question up, why don't we talk about more than just the left or right, Democrats or Republican parties, and talk about independent parties? He skimmed past it. And I put it more than at least 10 plus times, that same question, and I noticed he would answer questions that was under mine. And he didn't want to answer it. So I'm like, okay, so you phony. You know what I'm saying? I had people that tell me they didn't like Boyce, but the reasons why they said they didn't like Boyce wasn't the same as mine. I feel like, and no offense, because I'm not trying to leverage like I'm more important than anybody around me and people I talk to, but my thing was, what really matters is what we should take in consideration. So if he's just talking about Republicans versus Democrats, and then I say, hey, what about independent? We got Libertarian, you got Green Party. What about those other two parties? And he don't answer that question because he want to keep fighting with the Democrats because you want the Democrats to give you better stuff, knowing that they can say everything don't mean they're going to do it. And it don't matter even if they say they're going to do it, and then it gets to the Senate and the House. If they don't vote on, if they don't even listen to, and that's why I keep telling y'all, a couple movies. Head of State is a good example, but The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy, I think that was like 93. It came out after Boomerang. It shows how politicians will bullcrap other people. Now, I noticed they don't really talk Democrat, Republicans in it. They just talk Senate. I don't ever remember saying Democrats or Republicans. But I think they separate it to show you just how the game goes when you on one side trying to work with the other, or the other side trying to use you to get what they want, and they're not going to do nothing. But I digress. If anybody knows at least this, if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyways. If the House doesn't at least put the vote on the floor for the representatives, whether Republican or Democrat or independent or Green Party or whatever, to vote on, which is more Democrats, and you know what I'm saying, independent, I think it could be either or Green Party or Libertarian. They just name it independent, if I'm not mistaken. But if they don't even put it on the floor, if they don't even consider it, it's nothing can be done. So Boyce Watkins and Black Dot, all these people can talk all this trash, Ice Cube or whoever can say this and say that, but it doesn't matter if they won't even put the vote on the floor for them to vote on it and for the president to sign it. And this is the thing. Like Black Dot and everybody else keeps saying Trump done so much for black people. This is what people don't realize. Every time he does certain things, it's certain people that vote on it. Like, I didn't know. I'm reading stuff and come to find out, since 1980, no, was it like 1988 or something like that, there have been black leaders that are senators that have been trying to get a lot of votes on the floor. I didn't know the first step they called it something else. Please excuse me because I forget it right now. But it was called something else. And they've been trying to get this thing where since 92, you had black leaders that was trying to get certain things changed that Reagan had in place, or I should say his Republican administration had in place, and the Senate and House had in place since 92. So the 94 Crime Bill Act, these black leaders was trying to get them to change certain things. And that's why they took one black person in particular, I forget his name, please excuse me, I'm going to come back, God willing, again and update this. But one brother has an interview where he talks about the only reason why he voted for the 94 Crime Bill Act is to get rid of the mandatory sentences. So what's messed up, what we don't realize, a lot of states, local government, state, would still do mandatory. And these black leaders in the Black Caucus was trying to get rid of mandatory sentences when it came to the bill that was actually there since Reagan was there in 87 or 88. So people are thinking, like I said, back then a lot of black leaders, if we got to point fingers at everybody. It's not just Clinton. It's not just Republicans, but our black leaders as well. They thought they was doing something good, so that's why they say I stand by it, because I was thinking about this. I wanted to get rid of the mandatory sentence that was in place when crack hit. When crack became a problem, it was 87, 88 when this brother was saying what he did. Crack was a problem by then. Crack came, if I'm not mistaken, they say by 83. California, Compton was one of the first places. Y'all know Freeway Ricky's story, the real Ricky Ross story. If you don't, go look it up. They used him. He was one of the first people and the biggest, before Rayford Edmonds, before Al Poe and Rich Porter and AZ. Matter of fact, the only person out of them people I just named that came close to Freeway Ricky Ross was Rayford Edmonds out of DC. So, no offense to, AZ and all of them, because we talking about crack anyway, so who wants to give a big up for that? But the person that was getting the most money back then as a black person on the streets was Freeway Ricky. He was dealing with the real Noriega and the CIA. This is how he got caught up. So this is one of the first people and the biggest black dude in the hood doing his thing. Like, you had other millionaires, but he got to a point where he was making over $1 million a day. So we're talking over $30 million a month. We're talking over $300 million a year. You get what I'm saying? So these are the things they had in place. You get what I'm saying? So for all these people that sitting around and just talking about Democrats and Republicans were screwing us over too. They talking about just the Democrats, Republicans was doing the same thing. And then they saying Trump 45 was doing all this stuff more than any president. That's a lie. And y'all need to go look at Roland Martin, whether you like him or not. He break down facts the way you need to hear him, because he got rebuttals for every time these new Republicans like Angela King, who Boyce Watkins interviewed, while he trying to cape for the Republicans because he pissed off and want people to be cool with it because he helped Ice Cube. And like I said, I don't blame Ice Cube because I feel like he in over his head. But at the same time, y'all got to be upset with the Democrats too, because they told him we'll holler at you if we win the presidency. God willing, is they gonna holler at Ice Cube now? We gotta see. But he said with the Fox Soul interview with Cocktails with Lisa Ray, Selena Johnson, Claudia Jordan, and Vivica Fox, he was hoping Democrats would be all over him. I put that on one of the shows. Y'all go back and look at it. And they didn't. So I can't be mad at Ice Cube. He was hoping they would talk to him, and they didn't. But Boyce Watkins and all them, the Republicans. Man, screw the Republicans. Screw the Democrats. We got other independent parties. And then plus, I just showed y'all you can start your own PAC to push for your own candidates. It can be independent. That's what I wish Q would have did. So right now, within this time, God willing, that's what we should be building on. Yo, who's going to do X, Y, and Z? You want a black candidate? You don't want to just deal with Democrats and Republicans in your own city? Y'all can get together and start PACs and push black candidates that's going to do something. But you got to remember something. Unless you in somewhere like Maryland, or you in certain cities in Detroit or Pennsylvania or Atlanta that's all black, you got to remember, in that city, it's going to have to be more about than just black people. They're going to have to appeal to other people, because all the cities I just named are not majority black. We're going to have to get over that feeling. You got to learn how to do business and take feelings out of it, and just make sure what we're trying to do comes first, especially as long as they're righteous. You know what I'm saying? I personally believe you got to believe in God. That gives you a better moral compass. But if you got somebody who's not necessarily spiritual, I ain't going to say religious, but necessarily spiritual, at least pray and make sure that they have a good moral compass, regardless of what they respect God. They respect the people that love God. At least that. Because there's a lot of things missing that's spiritual that we need nowadays. Believe me. You all should know. But I just wanted to show y'all this. And just let y'all know, these are things that they're not talking about. I keep asking Black Dot now on Urban X. Let's talk about other parties. They don't want to talk about that. I asked Boyce Watkins that. They don't want to talk about that. They never answer my question. Hopefully they do. I doubt Boyce is. But hopefully Black Dot do. If not, then I can't mess with these channels who say we're going to have questions. And then you just want to talk about Ice Cube. And you just want to talk about relationships. And black people need to wake up. But you keep talking about the same thing. No. This your boy JT, opposite from the norm. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And keep checking out PoliTalk. Chill.